ABC agreeing to make a $15 million donation to a future Trump presidential foundation and museum, pay $1 million to cover legal fees, and publish a statement of regret to settle a defamation lawsuit Trump filed against ABC, ABC News, and Stephanopoulos in March.
And that obviously will not be the end of this campaign against the media, legal campaign against the media. We heard him go after many other news outlets today. Take a listen.
Well, I'm going to be bringing one against the people in Iowa, their newspaper. We're filing one on 60 Minutes. We're involved in one which has been going on for a while and very successfully against Bob Woodward. We have one, very interestingly, on Pulitzer because reporters at the New York Times, Washington Post got Pulitzer Prizes for their wonderful, accurate, and highly professional reporting on the Russia hoax.
We don't have time to go into all of that, but this is wildly ridiculous.
I mean, this feels like it has a real chilling effect. Shout out to the standards department. Okay, standards is always making sure that we are keeping the bar high and substantive and accurate.
What's wrong with you people?
All right, y'all. Good morning, afternoon, or evening, whenever you're tuning in. I'm grateful to have you here. And we got a doozy today because while these radical liars continue trying to bash and defame Trump by pulling a bunch of fabricated propaganda out of their butts.
If you don't want to be held liable for rape like Donald Trump has, don't grab the woman's genitalia. Don't keep lying about what you did. And
at the end of the day, what we know from Donald Trump is that he has over 24 credible allegations of sexual assault. We know that he was found liable for rape. We know that this is somebody who has a long-standing history of being aggressive towards women.
You got to stop doing that. You got to stop doing that.
You know, the same kind that they've been chin boogieing about since 2016. Yeah, that ain't being tolerated anymore. And I'm sure you've already seen how ABC, they just learned their lesson the hard way, thanks to Trump's legal team hitting them with a $15 million lawsuit. Now they got to take their medicine and eat some humble pie. And I'm guessing that they're only the first of many that's going to be paying up and being held accountable for blatant deception. Because we've seen so much Trump derangement go unchecked with these multi-billion-dollar networks using their platforms for evil instead of good, just getting rich off of divisive rhetoric and misinforming millions. Sadly, many of our own relatives, at least mine, they fell for their brainwashing crap for years now, from Russiagate to all the twisted headlines, taking Donald's comments completely out of context, like bloodbath or the very fine people on both sides ordeal, both of which have been easily debunked by reporters with actual journalistic integrity. Unfortunately, that's an extremely rare trait to possess in this day and age when these talking heads, they're more like wannabe activists and social justice warriors masquerading as reporters and TV hosts that are supposed to deliver on the news. But it's fake every single time. And remember everyone who called Trump Hitler 24/7, it seems like? They said he's a fascist, a racist, he's going to be a dictator, not realizing that we already know how he runs things based on how he was president from 2016 to 2020. They don't seem to allow their brain stems to connect and remember that fact. Or how about when this corrupt administration, they waged lawfare against him and his family? Every one of those people, they should be shivering in their boots right now, which by the looks of things, they definitely are. And either way it goes, justice always prevails. The truth shall set you free. And it's coming. Believe that. But I want to keep the spirits high and I want to show you something uplifting that you might not have seen yet. One of the many real life examples that displays how truly awesome and authentic a man our president is. And I thank God for sparing his life multiple times throughout this past year. Y'all, it won't be long before we're unburdened by what has been. And come January 20th, which can't come soon enough, we're going to have a patriotic leader back in the White House. Amen. Let's get it popping.
I've got an issue with you. And and when you gave me this opportunity, first of all, thank you for coming on the Gutfeld show. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
It's a good show.
And I actually owe you an apology before we start. I've been very critical about you, how you fight all through the campaigns. I voted for you because I like policy. Right. I didn't know you as a man. And I think when you don't understand what a man fights for, you can get lost, especially with all the noise we're seeing from fake news, et cetera, who created these pictures from you.
It was nice.
So Gutfeld show's over. Cameras are off. We go backstage, and I expected you to be like every politician or anybody I've ever celebrity I've bodyguarded for. And you met my family, and you talked to my daughter. Mm-hmm. My daughter is 10 years old. Her name is Georgie. You guys talked for 20 minutes. If nobody knew, you could have been her grandfather. And you were talking about her horses and her dreams. And I was sitting there, and I was like, I have been so wrong about this man because I never understood why you fight the way you fight. You're a family man.
I am. Well, I am.
You're a father.
And your daughters are gorgeous, really, and your wife, the whole thing. I mean, you have got some setup, I'll tell you. But your family's great and you're great and you've really done something and you've captured a certain spirit. You know, a friend of mine who's very smart, he's also a very big guy. He said, because I'm big and strong, people think I'm not the smartest guy.
Oh, I know.
Okay. You are a really smart guy. And I see it and I've watched it and I like the show. And we have the privilege of having had the highest rating in the history of the show when I did it a couple of weeks ago. That was just
of all time.
Of all time. Yeah.
We beat network television.
You beat everybody.
And they were up 35 million homes.
Right. Yes.
And it was a landslide.
Yep.
Now, you're putting it on me. I'm throwing it back to you, Mr. President.
Go ahead.
Why do we not hear more about Donald Trump, the father, the grandfather, and I did a deep dive. There are some things you have done that when they say those horrible things like he's Hitler, he's a racist, did they not forget in 1991 what you did with Nelson Mandela? Yeah. Would you care to share that? Because I would love to hear that.
I never talk about it.
No, you do not. And I know why, because you're a man.
Yeah. I mean, I just have great relationships with a lot of people. As people say that, you know, a little bit like you do. I don't think it's a narrative the press likes. Maybe it's not even a narrative that I should have. We have to protect our country, and maybe we should let the other side. I don't even call them the enemy. I think we have more of an enemy from within than we do from outside. You know, if you have a smart president, they talk about China and Russia and everything else. If you have a smart president, they're not going to be the problem. We have a bigger problem from within, and they hate it. I noticed today they were saying he said the enemy from within. Of course, it's Adam Schiff. These are bad people. These are sick people and bad people. And it's true. But I think it's a narrative that they don't like, frankly. I think the fake news, a term I think I came up with. I'm very proud.
Oh, you did. You coined it.
It's not tough.
Probably a trademark it, but you know, I'm not going to.
Yeah, I should try.
I'm not going to give you business tips.
But you know, it's funny because it's a great term, but it's actually not strong enough because it's beyond fake. It's really bad.
Nelson Mandela and 80 of his constituents were trying to come to the United States.
Yeah.
The United States government wasn't helping him. No one was helping him. You chartered a 727 plane for their entire trip.
Yeah.
How is somebody, and that's crazy because you can talk about anything and why is it hard for you to talk about the things you've done? It runs in your family. Your father helped build a synagogue. I mean, why do we not know those things?
It's something that I've never, I love doing it. I don't need praise for it. I don't, we all like a certain level of praise, but I've never, I just like helping people. I help a lot of people and I enjoy doing it and I never talk about it. It's nice that you bring it up. I also think it's not a narrative that the press likes talking about for me.
But I think it would help a lot of the American people who have been misled, I myself included. Now, listen, I'm voting for you now because of the man you are, not just because of the policies, because not every American will get the opportunity that I had to saw who you were backstage. And that's why I have this list. I mean, I have testimonials. We can't go through all because
I want to see them.
Now, this was, I had to dig deep.
I like that.
You donated $100,000 to raise dogs. You're not even a dog guy.
Yeah.
Explain that.
Well, that's Lara. So I have the wife of Eric, and she's a terrific person. You know, she's actually now a very big, an important person in getting elected in the Republican Party. She comes from North Carolina. She loves the dogs. And I did that in her honor, actually. And, you know, if you listen to her, boy, dogs are treated very badly. They're, you know, some evil people having to do even with dogs. So I did that for my daughter-in-law. Yeah. More so than me. I don't know that much about dogs, but I want to take care of them. And I had an opportunity. You know, as president, you can do a lot of things. I did a lot. The size of the kennels, the size of the cage, you know, there's like cages that they're in. And it's terrible. It's like you have no room, no nothing. And she came in with a whole group of people. These are people that really fight hard for dogs. I mean, you have people that fight. And she's a good person, so I did it for her.
I have hundreds of employees who have said things like, you've paid medical bills, you've paid mortgages, rents, you've helped get family members. There's one story in here where a brother came in with a business plan. Nobody would hear him. You gave him 10 minutes, you shook his hand, and you cut him a check. Yeah. Why is it so hard for you and even your team? I'm a little upset These are things that I think the American people need to know. And I get it. You're humble because you're a father first.
Yeah.
And a grandfather. And that's something, again, one thing we need in this country is we need a father figure again. We need husbands and boyfriends and young men we need to see that fathers are capable of great things, because we've dealt with it, especially in the last 3.5 years, a complete dismemberment of what it is to be a man. We're under attack for everything.
We are. Well, actually, manhood is under attack. I see things that are so beautiful, and the next day I see they're knocking the hell out of somebody for doing something that a day before I said, what a wonderful thing. No, we have to get back a little bit more. You know, the other thing under attack is religion. Religion was like the glue that kept this country together, and so many people are mocking it now. They mock it, and it just kept our country together, but it's absolutely under attack. And under attack by this administration.
Tucker, yeah.
Joe, you're fired. Get out. Get out, Joe. You're fired.
Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you're not already, ring that notification bell so you get notified anytime I post a new video. If you like what I'm doing over here and you want to show a little extra love and support, make sure you go check out our website down below in the description section. That way you can get all the awesome shirts and hoodies you see me wearing in every single video, as well as some pretty sweet tumblers and cups. They're all made by my smoking hot wife with tons of different designs to choose from. I like my clothes baggy in the winter, so you got a little extra room to move and groove. That's just what feels gooder than chicken to me, but we got all different sizes ranging from itty bitty extra small to big and hefty 5X, a bunch of colors. I guarantee we got something that you'll like, or at least a great gift for someone that you love. Outside of that, you can always show support by buying me a coffee, joining the Patreon community. You can become a member of the Gibson family here on YouTube by tapping that join button. All those links are always down below in the description section. By no means do you have to do any of that. Just showing up and watching my freckle face on your screens for a few minutes, I am greatly appreciative. I love y'all, and I cannot thank you enough for rocking with me throughout the years. I think I posted my first video on this channel 7-8 years ago, and you have literally changed my life, my family's life for the better. I just can't put into context how grateful I am for y'all. And I know we get into some tangents and some long rants sometimes, and I get fired up. That's how I like it, and that's how y'all seem to like it as well. But just thank you from the bottom of my heart. But until next time, I'll be praying for you. Godspeed. I'm gone.